Boston Mayor Michelle Wu here to welcome you to the 2023 Ginger Forum. I have always been grateful to the Joslin Diabetes Center for the work you do to combat diabetes in our Asian American community. Last year, I had the opportunity to join you for a taste of ginger and was moved by the center's commitment to this urgent life-saving work year after year. Just as discussions about health and communities of color demand cultural sensitivity, medicine for Asian Americans requires culturally relevant care. That's why I'm so excited about the Ginger Forum. It's spaces like this that are doing that critical work of making meaningful progress to ensure our communities are safe and comfortable when receiving life-saving care. I am so grateful to Joslin Diabetes and the AADI for holding this space and working tirelessly to raise awareness and improve care for Asian Americans living with diabetes across the city, Commonwealth, and country. I hope you all have a productive and insightful time at the Ginger Forum.
Next panel, I'm very anxious. You can see why I wanted to move forward to the next panel so quickly. We have a couple of wonderful moderators and their panelists. First, I'll introduce Chihiro Sato, who is the Communications and Outreach Director here at Joslin's Asian American Diabetes Initiative. Joslin is incredibly fortunate to be the beneficiaries of her decades of experience in public relations and business development across both Asia and America. She's currently serving on CDC's Formative Evaluation Advisory Committee. Her ultimate goal is to promote healthier and happier lifestyles in Asian communities and beyond. And as Dr. King mentioned, she was instrumental in putting this event together. So we are in her debt as well. Her co-moderator is, I looked at your bio, we've never met. You are a superwoman. Shunee Yee serves as the president and CEO of CSOFT International and CSOFT Health Sciences, where she directs the operations across 3 continents. She is world-renowned and world-recognized. Among her many incredible achievements, she was named one of Fortune's top 10 most powerful women entrepreneurs in 2012 and distinguished by CNN Money as one of the 36 foremost technology disruptors. She is passionate. Well, something that I am excited to see is you are passionate about fostering women's leadership. She collaborated with the White House leading CSOFT initiative to translate essential materials for the Let Girls Learn campaign to promote education and gender equality. She also served as the judge for the 2023 Stevie Awards in the Individual Women and Entrepreneur and Thought Leadership Award category. She has a master's degree from Rhode Island College, and she completed an executive education program at Harvard Business School. As Dr. King mentioned, she is also a trustee of Joslin Diabetes Center, and she and her staff have been so helpful in putting together today's forum together. So I want to welcome both Chihiro and Shunee to the stage.
First of all, thank you so much, Leonard. What a generous introduction. Thank you so much. And so now our panel gonna take a different perspective from patients and patient family, caretaker, and what can we do? What can we do to better manage, to avoid complications, to live a healthy life? So let me first introduce our panel quickly. Our first panelist, Dr. Frank Hu, Professor of Medicine at Harvard Medical School, Chair of Department of Nutrition at Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. And next one, Dr. Persis Commissariat, a licensed clinical psychologist, certified diabetes care education specialist at Joslin Diabetes Center. Our last panelist, Dr. Sally Ho, associate professor at University of Southern California, founder, owner of the reputable Who Physical therapy at Beverly Hills. So welcome all of you. For the full bios of our panelists, please refer to the digital book. So given we all have learned so much, and let's start before, kick off the conversation, what can we do? So let me give each of the panelists 1 minute pitch. So what's most important to diabetes care? And what can we do to improve, to live healthier? I'll start with Dr. Hu.
Okay, thank you, and thank you. This is work. Okay, I think me is yours. Okay, thank you, and thank you, George, for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to participate in the AADI events. I want to see how much white rice you're going to serve us for the lunch. A key message I'm going to convey today is that you are what you eat. You are what you eat. So the food choices you make not only reflect your cultural identities and your cultural traditions, but also have profound influence on your physical health, your mental health, and your well-being. So that's why we say you are what you eat. And many studies have shown that if you follow a traditional Asian diet or traditional Mediterranean diet, you can substantially cut down your risk of getting diabetes, heart disease, dementia, and other chronic diseases. On the other hand, if you follow a typical Western diet, your risk of getting those diseases and die from those diseases go up substantially. Another key point I want to mention is that the food choices we make also have huge impact on the trainings of bacteria or microbes in our digestive system. Those microbes play a very important role in our immune function, in our health, and in our defense against infectious diseases and chronic diseases. So if you eat a healthy, fiber-rich diet, those microbes will be very happy. On the other hand, if you eat an unhealthy diet with a lot of junk food, then the bacteria will grow and will make you sick. So that's why I say that you are what you eat. You are also what your microbes eat.
So healthy is in the kitchen, sounds like. So we're going to have more questions coming to you. Next, Dr. Commissary, you have 1 minute.
Okay, under pressure. I want to have a catchy phrase like Dr. Hu just did about you are what you eat. So I guess my catchy phrase would be caring for your mental health is part of diabetes care. I think that's so important to remember. And I tell people this as a person with diabetes. I've lived with type 1 diabetes for almost 25 years. And I think that everyone in this room probably understands that diabetes affects so much more than just our blood sugars, right? It affects our bodies. It takes a toll on our relationships, on our emotions. Sometimes we get just tired and stressed out because it's a lot to deal with. And so if diabetes affects so many different parts of your life, then we have to treat all of those parts of your life in order to effectively treat diabetes. So my take-home message here is care for your mental health. It is part of your diabetes care.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Now, Dr. Hu, you have 1 minute.
Okay, I'll try. I had a slogan of you are what you eat and you are what you think. If you think positive, you will have a positive life. If you think negative, you'll never get to where you want to be. For my part, you are how you move, okay? You will show in your appearance, in your attitude, in your philosophy of life. We were told not to mention the word exercise for Asian Americans. So not to use that word. So I changed it to physical activities. Actually, American Diabetes Association and also American College of Sports Medicine, they have a joint statement. They talk about physical activities. Physical activities means movement, okay, your daily activities. So, so our joints, our body are designed to be moved. If you don't move, you might as well be a rock or a plant, okay? So, so we know the benefit of movement helps physically and mentally. Lots of research to show that. So the simple thing is to say, I usually tell my patient, motion is lotion, movement is lotion. Motion is lotion, okay? You move, you lubricate your joints, you stretch your muscles, and it's cheap, it's effective, all right? Everybody can move. So my slogan here today is, let's get up and move, get up and walk, move towards a healthier life.
That's amazing. Movement is lotion. So I just want to let the audience know we have saved the time. In the end of the discussion, you could have all the questions. I love this panel. We have no slides. So now let me bring Chihiro-san onto the stage. You heard the introduction to her. She is the force behind many educational videos, particularly those ones are empowering individuals in a diverse Asian community. Chihiro-san, take it over. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shunee. Good morning, everyone. Hi. Good morning. We are here, as Shunee mentioned, we have 3 experts who already made videos with us in the past year. So we've been so lucky. All the video links is on our website. We will send it to you later, but individual videos you can, enjoy with your family, with your loved ones. But today I want to go further into a little bit more of the questions before we open the floor to you all. Okay, so Dr. Hu, you mentioned about how the gut is important.
Mm-hmm.
We hear a lot about healthy gut. How do we eat to make the healthy gut? Can you tell us like what kind of Asian food maybe we can incorporate?
A lot. Well, so let me start with what is gut microbiome. So gut microbiome, I think, has become a very hot topic in nutrition research and also in diabetes research. So our body, especially in the digestive system, the trillions of microbes, like bacteria, fungi, live within our body. And those bacteria and other microbes play a very important role, as I mentioned earlier, in terms of digesting our food, because many fiber-rich food cannot be digested in our intestine. Those microbes, those bacteria have to break down those foods. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to absorb the nutrients from those foods. So that's those bacteria. It's so important. And also they play a very important function in terms of defending against infectious disease and chronic diseases. So we know that our diet has a huge impact on the microbiome. We know that if you eat fiber-rich food, like fruits and vegetables, and whole grains, nuts, legumes, the healthy bacteria will grow and flourish. I mean, it's like a beautiful garden. So you have many different species of bacteria. On the other hand, if you eat McDonald's, if you eat a lot of ultra-processed foods, and the good bacteria will disappear and the bad bacteria will grow. It's like weeds. And that will destroy your garden within, which is very dangerous. And that kind of bacteria can increase your risk of chronic inflammation and increase the risk of your diabetes, heart disease, even increase your risk of Alzheimer's disease and dementia and Parkinson's disease. So the question is, what kind of diet can help to reduce, to improve our gut microbiome? So fruits and vegetables and also some probiotic foods, right, which are very common in Asian diets, like miso, kimchi, and also fermented soy products like tempeh. Those typical Asian foods contain numerous healthy bacteria. Those are live bacteria which can help promote your inner garden in your body.
So I just want to go a little further about the fermented food. How many of you incorporate fermented food of any sort in your daily life? Okay.
That's good.
Can you tell us tofu, kimchi? We talked about it. Is there anything else that you do?
Yeah. How about yogurt? Cheese doesn't usually contain live bacteria, but yogurt contain a very high amount of live bacteria. So I think yogurt is much better source of probiotics than cheese.
So another thing that we wanted to know is that there's so many, in your video, you talked about how many things that we as a patients, we as a community members, we can take steps to either prevent or better manage diabetes through our lifestyle changes. And then what are the things that you want us to avoid doing, for example?
Well, I mean, there are many different dietary strategies can help prevent and control diabetes. As we discussed earlier, the typical Asian diet is very high in carbohydrates, but the traditional Asian diet contain high amount of complex carbohydrates, minimally processed carbohydrates. But nowadays, we eat too much refined carbohydrate and starch. This kind of carbohydrate cause big spikes in your blood sugar. So that's why it's very important to cut down those carbohydrates, for example, replacing some of your white rice or white bread or white buns with brown rice, wild rice, and minimally processed carbohydrate. So that's the easiest thing, I think the most important thing to do for anyone who want to prevent and manage diabetes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So Dr. Commissariat, you talked about how the things that how we think is very important. It's part of our diabetes care. And then we talk so much about avoiding or reducing stress factors and stresses in our lives will be beneficial to our physical life. But what is the mental wellness? Because we tend to think a lot of different things. Can you explain a little bit about what is the mental wellness and where we want to go?
Yeah, so it's a really good question. I think mental wellness is something that we've been thinking about and talking about a lot more since the pandemic because of how stressful it was for people. And so oftentimes what I hear is everyone gets very nervous about talking to me when I use terms like mental health, right? Because they all think I'm trying to diagnose them. I'm not. But the thought that comes into people's heads across society when we think about mental health are things like depression or anxiety, and everyone's afraid that there's something wrong, when realistically, mental wellness is so much more than that. Mental wellness doesn't look for a diagnosis. It's something that all of us have and all of us must manage. So mental wellness it's a very broad term, and I'm going to get a little academic in defining it, but what it means is mental wellness is considering the way that you take in information and how you think. It considers your emotions and how you manage them. It thinks about how you connect with other people and then how you act, how you function in society, and are you a contributing member to society? Now, it's so broad, right? All of us engage in all of these things, but the thing about having good mental wellness is that you can do all of those things in a way that makes you thrive so that you can live your life to the very best of your ability, do all the things that you want to do and feel positively, despite the fact that we all have stressors and we all have things like diabetes to manage in our lives.
In the video that you made with us, there was a time when a lot of us were having extra distress because of COVID, especially being in the Asian American communities. And you had a great steps for us to recognize and break it down, and how do we go from there? So can you share a little bit about what kind of distress, whatever the distress that we may have, how can we tackle it or face it in the way that?
Yeah, so I should just clarify by saying everybody's stressors are very different, and how you manage them will be very different among people. So even the example you're referring to in the video, it may not work for every problem out there. So one thing that we had spoken about, I think, Chihiro, was that with diabetes and stress in general, we know that diabetes can be very stressful. It's a lot of work. So one approach that I like to take is a problem-solving approach. If what you're dealing with related to diabetes is something that you can make changes with, then we like to try to problem solve. So for example, one thing that I hear about from my patients all the time is not taking their insulin or medication. And there are so many reasons for this, right? Some people think that, medication is like a bad thing, that it's a scary thing to take, that it means something is going wrong with your body. For others, they just get so busy. We're all very busy people. We all have other things going on in our lives. And so it's easy to misplace your bottle of pills or forget to take insulin. And in cases like that, I like to encourage people to really think through, what do we need to change in this situation, and what are you willing to change? If you know what the barriers are to the problem that you're facing, then let's try to brainstorm some solutions for it. Let's try out every possible way that we can to really overcome this barrier that you're feeling. Now, this is a very broad example, of course, so there are other ways to go about stress management. And I think Dr. Ho will be talking about some of this too, in that sometimes with the stress that we face in life, we just want an overall wellness approach, right? And Dr. Hu talked about this as well. Overall wellness relates to healthy diet, it's positive thinking, it's physical exercise, it's meditation and mindfulness, it's talking to your friends and connecting with other people, because that's what makes us feel good. And that puts us in a better mental state to manage diabetes.
Thank you. Dr. Ho, we all agree that we're all busy, and we all agree that being more physically active is challenging, especially with our daily busy life. So can you share us some of the tips? How do we be more active, and how can we incorporate what you were talking about earlier, please?
Okay. Yes. Okay. I think the first thing to do for everybody, for ourselves, for our patients, for the caretaker, everybody needs to take charge. Okay. You have to know you are responsible for your own health. So we want to empower the person to do that. So for that, then you can move on to working out a schedule for your busy schedule, daily schedule. Okay. The simple thing is to cut out maybe 10 minutes or so, morning, afternoon. Okay, that's what my advice is, because the recommendation out there is 30 minutes a day walking and 5 days a week. Okay, this is for if you are an athlete, you are a sports enthusiast. I don't need to tell you what to do, but I'm talking about Asian diabetic patients that don't want to move. Okay, so give them 5-10 minutes twice a day. And research has proven 10 minutes, good, moderate activity will help decrease your blood sugar, will help prevent development of diabetes, will help gestational patients to control their blood sugar. Okay, so I think the first thing is take small steps. Okay, start moving, take small steps, carve out a time, get into a rhythm. Okay, morning or afternoon or both. A rhythm is good, and you need to adhere to that. You cannot just do it and then 5 days later you do it again. Every day you have a schedule that's easy, and take small steps. Don't think about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, okay? The other thing to help out is you have caretaker, you have family member, somebody can be the coach, okay? Work with you, or you can go with Zoom, all right, to join a class, or you can have some walking partners and socialization. You can join a Tai Chi group, a lot of little things. The main thing is you need to know you have to do that. You are in charge of your own health.
Thank you. That's great. All the people that we get to talk to in the communities, our patients, their family members, they always say that, well, it's a little bit too much to sign up for the gym membership. Or after COVID, we started working more from home. And there's always a time that we're sitting down and not moving. So Dr. Ho, is there any way that you could share some of the exercise movement or activities that you have shared with us in the video? So maybe we can, before we go into the Q&A with everyone, we can maybe have some stretch and
Sure.
yes?
So physical activity doesn't have to go to a gym or have lots of equipment. It's just in your own environment, especially Boston. You cannot walk outside too much. So in your home, in your daily activity, you can do some really simple things. Okay. So, is it on? Okay, everybody please stand up. Take the butt off the chairs. Okay. Can they see me? Maybe you can move over. I think you need to spread out if you to the aisle, to the side, or to the chair behind you. All right, we're gonna start with a good posture, okay? Lengthen your spine, tall, stand up tall, okay? Because posture is the base of a good balance structure. And I in my video I said a lot about balance. We need balance from the front, the back, left and right, and we need balance with our physical life and our mental status. Okay, so if you can separate your feet a little bit and just relax there. All right, we're going to start with moving your head just 3 times. Okay, saying yes, like forward and back. 1, 2, 3, in a relaxed manner, and then turn side to side. 1, 2. With this seat and don't do this one, okay? 3, okay? And then you tilt your ear to the shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and one more, 2 more is you can do it like a nodding. So tuck your chin down. We're stretching the back of our neck muscles. 2, 3, okay. Use the tip of your nose from one shoulder, draw a half circle to the other. So you're drawing a happy face. Okay, if you hear crackling noise in your joints, don't worry about it. The more you do, the less it will crack. That's a promise, okay? And then you just shrug your shoulders. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so with this, we already move our upper spine, our neck, okay? And then we can do, if you don't hear someone else next to you, maybe take a deep breath, raise your arms up, and then bend down. Again, up and down. Cross your arms in front of you. One more time. Breathe in and blow out. Okay, with this, you already do your upper back and your shoulder. All right, and then what we'll do is let's go on. If your balance is not good, you can hold on to the chair in front of you. If you're okay, then you can do stand on your toes. 1, 2, 3. We'll do 5, 4, 5. And this is a good exercise if you are working on bone density. You can hit harder. Okay, that's easy. Okay, they help your spine, loading your spine. Okay. And then you can do a little bit. Next one is squat down a little bit. Again, if your knee problem, don't go down too fast, too low. Okay, 3, 4, 5. All right, very good. And 2 more. One is swing your legs to the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One side, same side. And then the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's for your balance too. If you don't, you're wobbly, then you have to hold on to something. And balance is important. Balance is for aging population, for everybody. Balance is, all of these will get into your balance. Now, resistance training is important too. If you can do all these and you use a weight, okay, bottled water or heavier weight, you can work on the movement that we just did. All right, that's about 3 minutes. So I'm going to take another 2 minutes to go into some Tai Chi movement for all of us, okay? So what you do is you can stand up, separate your feet as wide as width of your shoulder, okay? We're going to bend down your knees a little bit so you'll be staying there. It's called a horse step. Chinese think this is how you sit on a horse, okay? But this helps your spine straight, help balance your spine, train your knees and train your glute muscles, okay? In this position, we're gonna raise our arms up, breathe in, take a deep breath in, all the way up, bend your elbow, and then push forward. You tighten your tummy as you push, okay? Again, breathe in, open up, go out, good. Breathe in, open up, very good. 2 more, breathe in, you can be a little slower, and push. 1 more, breathe in, open up. Okay, very good. You want to move your legs a little bit, and I'm just going to go 1 more, okay? Now separate your feet again. If you can turn your left foot out about 45 degrees, and then you just step your right foot straight forward. So you have channel between your legs, okay? Facing forward. So we're gonna shift our leg to the front leg and to the back leg, right? Or front leg, back leg. Maintain your good posture. You breathe in, can you come forward? And then breathe down. Now we're gonna add our hands. So move forward with your arms and then come back. In a relaxed manner, breathe in, blow out. And I will say, let's gather all the good energy, bring it to yourself. Blow out. Good energy. Good. Very good. Come back. Turn your right foot out 45 degrees. Step forward with the left foot. Maintain the channel between. Lower a little bit so you train your glute and your knee muscles, okay? Same thing, come forward. Then go out. Forward. Go out. I have a patient is a stockbroker, and he's saying, I want to get all the money. Come back to me. You have to let go a little bit. So you can use whatever mantra you like to think. Okay. Healthy, right? Health, lower blood sugar, okay. Happiness, everything. Okay, that's it. It takes maybe 5-6 minutes. And then the other 5 minutes, you can just walk. You can walk in the same space, or you can pick up the pace. So eventually you will get that endorphin, and your brain is going to desire more and more. And that's how we can help ourselves go to the next step. Okay, so my last thing is move forward, get up and move towards healthier life.
Thank you, Dr. Ho. Thank you, everyone. So because of the time, we are going to limit just 1 question from the audience. And then during the lunch and networking session, after all the panels, please feel free to come up to the panelists and then ask your own question. Is there 1 question?
It's not a question, but it's basically a reflection of what I heard before, which is that every one of us have 3 ages. Our chronological age, which is represented by Dr. Hu, our psychological age, represented by Dr. Commissariat, and our physical age, represented by Dr. Hu. So we are how we feel, how we eat, and how we think we are. At my age, I think I can't do anything about my age, all right? But I think I'm probably like 15 years younger than I am. Physically, I'm in bad shape because I don't exercise, but thank you, Dr. Hu, for teaching us this exercise today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, our panelists. Now we're going to move forward.
Great, thank you so much.